John here, guys, and today we are talking about the Immersion RC Lap RF FPV race lap timer. That's right. So for those of us that race in this great hobby of FPV, we want to get better. We want to go from being hesitant to even show up to a race, to showing up and hanging around and asking questions, is just being around the scene, to trying our very first race. And then from our very first race, actually getting any place other than last place, because I don't know about you guys, but for my first half a dozen races, I was probably almost always last. Actually, except for my very first race, where many people just crashed out a bunch, so I got sixth place. But after that, it seemed like I was last in town forever. And I finally moved up to achieving my goal that I had set to finish top 5 in a race. And now my next goal is to finish top 3 in a race in town. And currently I am qualified on the multi-GP qualifier for 2018 to go to the regional championships. Now that I have a 15 lap, 7 minutes and whatever change, 7:01 time, which is a respectable middle of the road time, not great at all. To give you an idea, the 2 leaders in the country are at 22 laps, and there are a total of 24 pilots that have 21 laps. So 15 laps, not super great. But one thing that you should do, that you could do, that you must do to improve your times is to set up tracks, practice on your own, get the stick time needed to improve, change out your motors, change your props, change your ESCs, everything to get faster. But how do you know when those things are actually helping you? You don't, unless you are tracking your times and benchmarking yourself. And this is a great way to do it. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you may have seen me put this thing into frame a few times, and that is the Team Black Sheep lap timer, which is also very cool. And I'm going to put this up right next to the Immersion RC version, because from the pictures, it's very hard to get a sense of scale of how large either of these two things are. I'm going to put a 2405 motor in frame right there, just to get an idea of how big these things are. And so what do you guys think? Now, I can tell you, out of these 2 lap timing systems, they both work fairly good. But if you are an iPhone user, do yourself a favor and get the Immersion RC version. This does not work very well with the iPhone, and it's because the Drone Squad app that they use, the TBS, it doesn't work well with Apple's Bluetooth architecture, and so your range is severely limited. I did not have people locally that had the same issue if they were using Android. So if you have this, definitely, or if you want this, you have to be an Android user. If you're an iPhone user, that really only leaves you with this, unless you're going to cobble together your own timing system. And so this thing is fairly small. It's thin. It charges via a micro USB port, which is awesome. I love that. It has an 18650 cell in there. You can look at the Bluetooth ID of your race timer. Mine is called Pure Soldier, which is perfect because I am a no limit soldier. And there's a power button and a bind button. Very simple. As soon as you do that, you connect it to the Immersion RC app, which is very easy. If you want more steps on that, go to their website or something. If you're still curious as to which one of these fits in the back, they both fit pretty easy. This is surprisingly slim, so it fits into your race bag very easily. It's much smaller than your motorized Voltron there. So just, key sizing tool right there is the Voltron Vintage. Now, I have a Fat Shark antenna connected up to that, and so another notable thing, the reason why I put this quad in frame wasn't just to get a sense of scale. That is my first 6S build. And yes, I built the Catalyst Machine Works America Razorback Edition, but I've been so scared to fly that thing. It's probably going to be for sale because it's a expensive, high-performance piece of art, and I just can't bring myself to crash it. So I built up one of my Campfire Quad CF1s, and I put these gigantic 2207 1722 high voltage edition. Danger high voltage, that's right. Danger, high voltage. And this thing flies like it is teleporting you to another dimension. It's amazing. But how do I know if 6S is really faster than 4S? Maybe it just feels like it on the butt dyno. The only way I can know is by using one of these. And I can tell you, when I was testing times on 4S, I can really understand how important it is to track those times, because I could see, and I'm going to flash some of the screenshots on the screen of my times as they were improving as I was flying. I could see heat after heat that I was running by myself. That's the other thing. It's hard to push yourself when you're by yourself, but when you want to go practice and you can't wait for the whole crew, or you want to be able to go maximum effort and get the maximum stick time, use the maximum amount of packs per hour, by yourself sometimes isn't so bad. You're not waiting for other people. You're not waiting in heats. So you got to time yourself. That's how you push it. And I was able to 3 batteries in a row improve my times, and I was able to improve my fastest lap significantly by tracking it. And I don't think I would have been able to push myself that hard without it. So why is this key at this moment in time? It's because the great tournament is going to begin. That's right. We are entering Motor Kombat. Yes, that is going to be an epic tournament of 6S motors to determine once and for all what is the best 6S motor on the planet. And now I have given you my multi-GB qualifier race time. I've given you the number of the laps and the time so you can assess very easily, am I a faster or slower pilot than you, and what does that mean for my motor selection? Now, how I'm going to perform this test is I'm going to create a single track. Actually, I'm probably going to be using Miguel's famous Time Trials Battleground track, and I'm going to be using the lap timer to time myself. Each motor will get 10 6S packs, 5 for warming up and 5 for running it. And I will pick the best 3 heats. I will put together a combination of laps and times, and then we will use that as a benchmark for all 8 motors in this glorious competition. So look forward to the videos coming up for Motor Kombat.